My name is Zakaria Taibai. I'm gonna be presenting my Arduino project today. So it's basically an automated pet feeders. The way it works is that it's going to feed the pet every like 3 hours for 10 minutes, and we can change the time over here. So I'm setting it by default to be 3 hours and 10 minutes. So I'll go through the component first. So we have an LCD here with the potentiometer to control the brightness. We have a buzzer here to make some sound when it's time to eat, so the pets know that it's eating time. Servo motor to simulate the gate. Have a force sensor to make sure that the bowl is not empty and there is food in it, otherwise it's going to notify the pet owner through the LCD. We have also a motion detector, so it detects, it waits until the pet approach the food to open the gate for him. We also have a push button here to open the gates manually, and we also have a red and green LED and a bunch of resistors. Okay, let's run the software. So yes, as you can see, it's asking us to refill the bowl, and there is and we have the red light is on. There is also a countdown for when the gate is going to open for the next time. So the reason it's asking us to refill the bowl because the weight, the force sensor is not sensing anything because it's empty. Now let's fill it, as you can see, and the message is not showing anymore. So now we have two options. So we can either wait for the gate to open into our 59 minutes and 30 seconds, or we can just click on the push button to open the gate. So as you can see, it's making this pulse sound to notify the pet that it's time to come. It's also showing that it's going to open the gate. So yeah, let's simulate. Okay, let's say that. So you can see it's opening. Now it's open, and it's going to wait for 10 minutes to close again. You can see also that we have the green light here, which shows that the gate is open. We can also change that to be like 5 seconds, so we can just test it and see how. So yeah, to refill the bowl first, open the gate by clicking here. Sound. Now it's open. It's gonna be open for 5 seconds because I changed it here in the code. Then it's going to close in again. Now it's closed, and now it's showing the counter again. So now we can go through the code. So basically, in the macro programming, I'm using the liquid crystal library with this servo motor library. So the liquid crystal is used to control the LCD. We have here some pins for that we're using the Arduino. I'm using some analog pin because I wanted to save some space here in for the other pins, because I may need them. So this is why I just wanted to use the analog pin as much as I can to leave this for maybe gonna need them in the future. Yeah, so we have here's the force value for the force sensor. So it's basically, it starts by 0, then it's set it to whatever value is over there. And yeah, so we have interval, open mileage, and this is the previous mileage. And this is where we store our countdown over here. So at first we start by doing the pin mode of all the inputs. We have input and output. Then we attach the servo. We set the servo to be in position 0. So yeah, so I'm using a function here to print to LCD. So the reason why I'm doing this, so yeah, we have a position, and if it's clear, I wanted to print everything through this function. So when I write the register level programming code, I just change this function, so I don't have to go to every LCD set cursor, LCD print, and etc. So I just need to change this one, then it works fine. So yeah, so when we're waiting for the pet, conf wait pet, then making some buzz using the tune function. I need only some helper function, so check if the push button is pressed, this function to turn the LEDs on and off. And here also we're opening the gates by just firstly turning the green LED, printing opening, turning the servo motor. We're waiting for the time until we close the gate again, then we then we close it, we turn the green LED off again. So this function is to format like the remaining time until the gate is open. So we getting our minutes and second and checking what's the remaining time, etc. Yeah, and then we displaying the remaining time in the LCD by providing like the output of this function to the print LCD. And finally, our loop function, where all the stuff going on. So we have the force value, so check if force value is less than 200, and say you have to refill the bowl. We can change this to any other value. Also turn the red LED on to show the user that the bowl needs to refill, otherwise it turn it off. Here we get the current mileage using the mileage helper function, and we can see if it is the current time to open. If it's the current time to open the gate, then we wait for the pet. Once the pet arrive, we open the gate for him. Otherwise, we display the remaining time. We display the remaining time here. And here also we have this. Remember that we can open the gate manually by clicking on the push on the push button. So yeah, so it's checking it over here. So check if the push button is pressed, then it's going to wait for the pit and open the gate. Same thing as here. Now going to our register programming code. So you can see I'm not using the LCD library. I'm just using the library for the servo motor. So yeah, we have the pin for the servo, the buzzer, and the same value as the other one, previous mileage, and the same for formatting the time. But here we're setting the input and output. So DDRD, DDRB here for doing the input output, and the DRC setting A1 and A2 here to be input. Also using a custom code to print to the LCD and manipulate the LCD without using the Crystal library. I will go through that code in a second. I'm also using the same code for the servo. Printing LCD, as you can see, I just changed using my new functions, and this should be working fine. I'm keeping my print LCD function, so I'm just changing here the way I'm printing to the LCD. So I'm using this custom function that I will go through them in a minute. Here reading this answer motion, you in the pin D, using following code. I'm doing delay, then using the tone and etc. Also for the push button, the turn red and everything, I'm not using like an analog read, even though it's an analog, but I'm not using it because in the red LED and the green LED, I only need to check if it's either 0 or 1. So I don't need this. I don't need like the complex value or float value and stuff. So this is why I can just do it in this way. By just using like a port C to check if it's on and off. And yeah, opening the gate by the same way, basically the same function, and so it's the same function for getting the format date and stuff. Yeah, so but for the force value, I have to use analog read because I have to get the exact value of the force. So I'm using an analog read for this one. Yeah, and basically the same code for the previous and current mileage and everything in the loop. So yeah, I have a micro delay helper function to use in LCD. So yeah, so these are the function that I'm using to write to the LCD, so we can set the cursor LCD to a specific position. Once we print to the LCD, we're using the LCD data function. We have also the custom LCD write in 4 bits. Here we have the LCD command function that we're using it on top. So yeah, also I'm keeping the same pins on the previous one, if you can see. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm basically manipulating the port B to work with the LCD and to write to the LCD using this register programming functions. So yeah, so pretty much that's everything for the code. It's working with in both like the macro and register programming. Let's test it one more time. So yeah, asking to refill the bowl, add more weights. I'm not asking anymore. Click on the first button, making the buzz. Okay, now it's opening. Let's wait for 10 minutes, and we have the green light over here. Then it closes again. I will make the implementation using Arduino, and I will next be doing the video presentation of the Arduino. Thank you. Alright, we're running our software. So as you can see now, we have a countdown because the gates open every 3 hours, and we can change that. So it's asking us also to refill the bowl, and we have the red light turned on because the weight detector is not detecting anything. So if I put some weight here, as you can see, the red light is turned off, and it's not asking us to refill the bowl anymore. So we can wait for 3 hours to open it, or we can click on this push button to open it manually. So once I click on it, so this buzzer will start making sounds. So the animal, we know that the gate is about to open. And also we have this motion detector, which is going to detect when the animals arrive, and it's going to open the gate for him once some motion is detected, and it's going to open the gate for a few minutes or hours, so we can set at from the code. So yeah, so let's press on the button. Alright, as you can see, the buzzer is making sounds now, and if I put my hand over here, yeah, it's waiting for the pet to open. Yeah, so now it's opening. As we can see, we have the green light turned on, which means that the gate is open. And yeah, so for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm opening it only for a few seconds. So it's closing now, and once it's closed, the green light is turned off, and our counter is reset to start again from 3 hours. So now it's going to open again in 3 hours. All right, thank you.